Everybody, this is Dr. T.H. Culhane from the Patel College of Global Sustainability at USF Tampa, and I'm down with Dr. Seneschal Tsige from Florida Gulf Coast University, but we're at the Emergent Technologies Institute of FGCU here near Fort Myers. And we are working today at the request of our colleagues in Congo, particularly the advisor to the president of Congo, who asked us if we could work out the science behind how much food waste in a biodigester could be transformed into enough biogas that could be used to run a backup generator about this size. This is a 10,000 watt generator. It's actually, I think, 8,000 watts with a 10,000 watt peak. So this is the kind of backup generator that people would use in many African countries where power is unreliable and people are forced to take electricity matters into their own hands. But of course, it's usually very, very dirty. The fuels are not clean. It's causing respiratory ailments. It's causing, of course, contribution to global warming. But biogas is clean, and when it's derived from food waste, it offsets the methane emissions that might come from a landfill, and it offsets fossil fuel use, and it has no adverse health effects. So that's our mission today, is to convert this engine to run on biogas, or actually to make it a tri-fuel engine. And then we have way over there, you can see the 1,000-gallon tank biodigester that we built, the photovoltaic panel to power the pumps, a couple of Solar Cities IBC tank biodigesters, slow sand filter, hydroponic system, and InSinkErator food grinder, and a macerating toilet pump to get the food waste slurry up into the digesters. So when you have biogas, you can do wonderful things with it. Of course, you can cook. Of course, you can use it to heat water. You can use it for gas lamps. But running a generator is the necessity for many people, and that's what we want to work on today. This is a brand new generator. We've got to get it set up. It's upside down because we're installing the wheels and these skids. The generator is not going to be run continuously. You have to understand that if you're running a 8,000 watt generator on any fuel, and you're only using it to power, say, a 60 watt light bulb, or let's say you're using LED lights, maybe it's at 3 watts or 2 watts. So you're using up all that energy, using up all that fuel just to power a small load. Even if you were using a microwave, if you're using a microwave for 20 minutes, which uses about 1,000 watts, you wouldn't use an 8,000 watt generator running it at 8,000 watts per hour to generate 1,000 watts for 15 minutes for the microwave. It makes no sense. So what we do is the same thing we do with any renewable energy system. You have a deep cycle, this battery here, this is the Renogy. It is a 100 amp hour, 12 volt AGM battery. This is a sealed lead acid battery. Eventually we'll replace these with lithium iron phosphate like we have up at Rosebud Continuum now. But this is the sort of standard that people can get around the world fairly inexpensively, a deep cycle battery. So you might expect our colleagues in Congo to be able to get AGM batteries. They're used for a lot of renewable energy backup systems. So we can charge this with the sun when there's sunshine, and then when there isn't, when it's cloudy days like today, or it's raining, or it's nighttime, then we can charge it with clean food waste derived biogas. That's the goal here. Now let's see what the kit is, because any generator, any engine can be modified to run on biogas or any combustible fuel. It's just about the ratio of air to fuel. So a kit was purchased by Seneschal, and you can see what comes in it. The first thing is a regulator. This is from a company called PNG Technologies. It says the place for generator conversion kits. Our kits have been designed so there's no reason to cut the generator frame. Our carburetor adapters were developed by use, and the reason why we can sell a custom kit. They have their contact information. Unfortunately, there is no instruction manual in here. Okay, that's what it comes with. So we have to look up PNG Technologies, and they have a website, pngtechnologies.com. So we'll look at that. So the first thing you notice when you open the box is you notice this regulator. Now the regulator has an input with a valve, and so that is where you would put your propane or your natural gas. And the pressure coming out of a natural gas line or the pressure coming out of a propane bottle has to be regulated, has to be brought down. And so that's what this diaphragm here does. And then it comes out the output, which has a screw here and an opening. And you'll notice that if you try to blow through this, nothing happens, but if you press this button in the back,
that opens the diaphragm. Now, when the regulator is set properly, then you don't press this button. The regulator opens enough to release the right amount of pressure for the generator to run. You use this to prime it. So they call this the priming button. And when you've hooked this up to natural gas or propane and opened this valve up, then to start the engine, you prime it a couple times to get gas flowing through. And so you're sort of like bypassing the regulator at a pressure determined by your thumb until it's full pressure and get that into the carburetor. Now, that is only needed for propane or natural gas. Biogas has such low pressure when it comes out of the tank and stored in a balloon, we actually have to use a pump to bring up the pressure, and this would just get in the way. And we've tried that in Cairo, Egypt years ago. We ended up taping this shut, taping it open, taping it all the way down, so it was basically bypassing the entire. This is unnecessary, but we want this if we want to run it on tri-fuel, propane, natural gas, or gasoline, and then biogas when you have it, but you bypass this. So that's the first thing you'll see in the kit. Now, the second thing you see, a big item, is a big pressure hose for the